Hello, this is Yehoshaphat Oliver, and today I want to discuss two expressions that I think are very important. They're common expressions, but I think we should discuss them in detail. The first one is taking the red pill. Now, taking the red pill presupposes that you've come to the realization that there is a deeper reality that is behind the surface reality that you see. Um, there are dissenters, there are people pointing out that deviating. Um, and the question is, will you investigate that matter further, or will you look the other way? So it's a metaphor from a movie, The Matrix. So the main character is given the choice of taking the blue pill, which would mean that he chooses to reject the truth. Ignorance is bliss of the deeper reality that's being hidden from him, because he knows that that would be very painful, and he he prefers to continue with the way he's been behaving. He sells out, so to speak. He compromises on his principles. And then the other option is taking the red pill. You choose to follow the path of truth, even though it's painful, it's difficult, it's challenging, it's intimidating. You make that conscious choice. And the other metaphor is that of going down the rabbit hole. This is from a book called Alice in Wonderland. And the idea is that Alice sees a rabbit running into a hole, very strange looking rabbit. It's talking and so on. So she goes to this rabbit hole, she crawls in, and then she enters this whole new dimension called Wonderland. And the idea is that once you make that choice to see that deeper truth, to follow the white rabbit into the rabbit hole, then that red pill, that alternate reality, that deeper reality, that truer reality, that is very different. It's it's new, it's unfamiliar, it's a wonderland. It's the rules that you know in your current reality don't apply in this alternate reality. You have to adjust to this whole new reality. You have to unlearn the rules of the old reality that you knew. You have to learn a whole new vocabulary, a whole new way of operating. Compared to the world you know, this new world is weird. It's surreal. It's dreamlike. But the concept is that you continue. You keep pressing on. So, what's the the beginning of this journey is to realize that you're being deceived, or just that there's a usually you're being deceived, but there's a deeper reality. On one level, you're being deceived. There's something that's being hidden from you. It could be that the people telling you this themselves don't know, right? They're just tools of the system that is designed to conceal this deeper reality. So, but on some level, there's some kind of hiding of truth going on, and you're making the conscious choice to reject the dominant accepted paradigm, which is what you're familiar with. And You don't know what lies ahead. You don't know what this deeper truth might be. But still, you say you're open to it. You're willing to sacrifice for it. And you're willing to start changing your own personal outlook. But you know that there's a social price to pay. If all your friends are pro-vaxxers and you will investigate the anti-vax arguments, well, you know that your friends might no longer view you in the same way with that same feeling of connection. So you'll suffer a certain social consequence for going down that path because you sense that it's likely that once you go down that path, you'll find all kinds of truths that will separate you from your friends, family, acquaintances, community, and that's a choice you're making when you choose to take the red pill to investigate this alternate uh, um, this deeper truth. You know that there'll be a price to pay. That's the concept of the red pill. Those who have their head in the sand, they'll call you crazy. They'll call you all kinds of names. If it's about the issue of conspiracies, they'll call you a conspiracy theorist. If were not religious and you choose to become religious, to you know study about God and pray to God and whatever the details may be. So those people who are not religious will quite possibly um, call you a religious fanatic or what have you. They'll say you fell into a cult. They'll do all kinds of things essentially to resist that change that you're making because they themselves are afraid of making that change. They don't want to make that sacrifice. They want to take the blue pill. So therefore, they come with all these slurs against you. And you know that they will resist um, your worldview. They won't want to keep company with you, or not as much once they know that you've become a heretic. And you also realize that it's never about this one issue. It's never about just the truth about vaccines or just the truth about COVID 19 or just the truth about 9/11 or and so on. It's always about one thing leading to another. One deeper truth leads to another deeper truth. Now, I'm not saying that everything that presents itself as true is is so. Obviously, it's about researching, investigating. There are many things posing as the truth which are not the truth, but that's a separate point. The starting point is: am I going to start on this journey of research, of exploration, to find what that deeper truth might be? There'll be a lot of searching, a lot of sifting through information, sifting through reports in order to find that deeper truth, especially when you're dealing in this world of falsehood. But here we're talking about the fundamental choice to go on that journey. Um, so, um, it's like when it comes to conspiracies, you know that um, one conspiracy leads to another. Um, If 9/11 was a false flag operation, well, then what other events were false flag operations? Just how many events that were used to justify entering countries, entering wars, were false flag operations? Maybe everything is a false flag operation. And when you're starting the process, you're starting at the beginning, someone is telling you that there are anomalies in the official story of 9/11. Well, you can see, you sense that leads down a path of completely rejecting the official doctrine about wars, about government uh, authority, about what's really going on. So there's this tremendous resistance to investigating such questions at all, because you you don't want to go down that path. You don't want to. That person does not want to make that journey. He wants to stay with his beliefs that he can basically trust in the government. He can basically trust that when there's a war, it's done with good reason. And so he resists. He calls those people who point out anomalies in the official story of 9/11, he calls them conspiracy theorists. And he goes to great lengths to fight, to debunk any questions on the official story, to defend the official story. That's the blue pill struggle, to defend the official story, to maintain the status quo in the this sort of controlled matrix society. But then you have a person who chooses to take the red pill, meaning he chooses this difficult path. He does so knowingly, consciously. He knows it'll be demanding, it'll be difficult, it'll likely even be dangerous, maybe even physically dangerous. But he makes that choice. And then he sees how deep the rabbit hole goes. He starts learning, researching, exploring, discovering, changing, growing. It's a whole shift, a metamorphosis. He sheds his old misconceptions. He connects to this deeper reality. And like I said, it's never just about this one issue. It's not about conspiracy theories per se. It's about making a choice to seek truth, to prefer truth over falsehood, to prefer a difficult truth, to say, even though I know that accepting this has consequences, I will. I, I love the truth. I love truth. I love truth even when it's difficult. I'm committed to truth. And therefore, it's not just about seeking truth once in this issue, in that issue. It's about seeking it constantly, committing to a lifetime of seeking the truth, of taking this red pill again and again, making that choice again and again, going down rabbit holes again and again, and then of applying that truth in one's personal life, of living a lifestyle of truth. And in my opinion, that's that's the right course of action, and that's the only way to live. But it's a choice that a person has to make. Right? Thanks for listening. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel. God bless.